Okay, after battling with the Fuel Command Center for a few weekends on trying to keep fuel pressure up, finally I ditched it, pulled it off. What it would do is every time it would warm up, I'm not sure if it was getting vapor lock or what was happening, but my fuel pressure would just end up dropping to zero. It's like I couldn't get fuel into the command center from the fuel pump, which I changed out the mechanical fuel pump, put a new one on, opened the thing up, got returned to the tank, fixed my rollover valve, check valve, so I had full flow going to the tank, but still when it warmed up, it just wasn't working, dude. So the pump that came with the Sniper is like an 80 gallon per hour. I think that crosses over like 302 liters per hour or something like that. But anyway, I went ahead and pulled it. No more command center. And I went ahead and ran ground wire to the frame, being that my new pump is mounted to the frame in the back on the frame rail, and I wanted a good ground because I tied into the sending unit ground for the fuel pump ground. So I got this grounded directly to the frame. I also got my coil, my relay that runs power directly to my Sniper ECU. I got that hooked directly to ground. So power to the ECU and power to the pump are both going directly to the ground side of the battery, positive side of the battery, so I don't have any interference with anything. Now the sketchy part of this is, which I ordered a U-bend off eBay, so I got one coming, and I want to get this to where it's just a hard line pipe going down, but my return line from this regulator that's on the Sniper, I got it running down to the hard line pipe. It's 5/16 return to the tank. And I went ahead and put a brand new tank, new sending unit, all that stuff. And so the hardline pipe that comes up along the frame rail here, it's going here to this fuel filter and straight up to the Sniper itself. And I also ordered to put in here, they got a female male fitting I can put on this, so I can put a fuel gauge. I'll put a fuel gauge in right here, because right now I don't have a fuel pressure gauge. And I'm using the return here, so that's all good. And then I've got my favorite new toy here. This thing is awesome, man. With the magnet, oh yeah, look at that. Got a socket on the back of it. With the magnet. That thing's awesome. Anyway, let's review this back here. Got a new tank, new sending unit. Mounted the pump. And let's see here. This thing here is pretty cool. You can just drop it up there and go to town. Anyway, got the new pump installed. Mounted to the frame rail. It's below the level of the tank. So that way it basically just siphons right into it. And then my blue wire running from the front is tied into the relay for the Sniper. It's turned on and off by the Sniper itself. I got that zip tied all along the frame rail. And the only thing I don't like is this little right here. I need to get a 45 to put onto that goes up to the supply, because I don't want that kinking. But all new hoses. And the only thing that came across was when I fired it up, the only leak I had, and this is something to note for old Ford trucks. Halfway down, it's metal line front to back, and right in the middle, they got a rubber hose to tie them together on both sides for the supply and the return. So if you're gonna put fuel injection on an old vehicle, make sure you check that the whole way, because when I first cranked it up, this thing had a hole spitting out, spraying over right onto the exhaust pipe. But luckily I went ahead and checked for leaks and caught that. So I put a 225 PSI rated hose here with the EFI clamps. And then on the other side, it's just got, I put the regular 5/16 fuel hose. But anyway, we're up and going. And we have fuel pressure that cranks up, and I don't think we're gonna have any funny business now that we're got the direct feed from the tank and returning to the tank using the built-in regulator. Now the command center's got a 340 liter per hour pump on it, and I'm gonna use that thing, dude. I'm gonna gut that thing out and use it just as a surge tank from my other one. I'm gonna feed that thing. I'm gonna feed that thing with my big pump, my Essex fuel pump, and then have that thing mounted in the tank and use that pump, being it's a better pump, to feed the E85 to my carburetor. And being low pressure with those pumps, I'm gonna have plenty of fuel. Okay, have a good one.